Hello, and welcome to the Gems of Rock podcast, where we talk all things rock music.
This week we're going to plug, because we don't get sponsored, because not that many people listen to us yet, we're going to plug two things. Check them out on Facebook. I believe they have Instagrams as well. Second Star Creations, who have kindly made us t-shirts, because we're now that cool.
They are cool.
Because you did tell me this week we now have international listeners, Brazil and Germany.
Yeah,
We're going global. Geography's taking it round the world.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah. Misters Worldwide.
Misters Worldwide.
What's plural for that? So yeah, we're going to plug Second Star Creations, a great friend of mine, your wife.
My wife.
Your wife? Oh Christ, how old are we now? Yeah, date us then. And also Treat Yourself Boutique in Lytham St Anne's. So we've been trying to get free food, but now we're actually going to try and plug a friend's small business.
Yeah, that's it. We'll pop the links in the Facebook feed, but yeah, go and check them out.
Right, now to start, I'm going to start with, it proves as a northerner, I'm serious. I'm going to say mate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
mate.
How many mates? Because that's
yeah.
a...
Two mates?
Two mates. Mate. How long is the pause between the mates?
Okay. This is how I say that. Mate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, now this is definitely not an original idea. It's an idea I wanted to bring to the table when we started the idea of a podcast. We're not original. We're not the first to think of it. And I definitely don't want to lose any internet and or street cred. Not that I've built any in any way, shape or form. But the topic I wanted to talk about today was, why is there so much hate for Nickelback?
I mean, it's a good topic, and it is a good question.
Yeah, we're not the first to think of it. We're far from the first to think of it. Okay, I literally this morning before setting off to work Googled why are Nickelback, right? And this is what Google told me. Right, these are the top results.
Yeah.
So why are Nickelback disliked? Why Nickelback called Nickelback, which I think is fine.
Yeah. It's good.
Why are we sorry about Nickelback? I just let that one sink in. What else have we got here on Google searches? We had how much is Nickelback worth? That's fair enough.
Yeah. Good general question.
Is Nickelback the worst band of all time? Why is Nickelback the most hated band in history? Why are Nickelback hated? Now, I want to predicate this conversation between me and you, DB, that I'm not putting them up there in the upper echelons of rock.
No.
I don't want to defend them as an ultimate god of rock up there with some of the greatest that we'll hopefully talk about going forward.
Yeah, definitely.
But just why the hate?
Yeah.
Right?
It is a great question.
Why are they disliked? Okay, that's what I wanted to just get across. To the point, did a bit, cursory Googling here and there, and as all great teachers do, I'm just going to steal everyone's best ideas.
Yeah,
that's what all good teachers do.
Yeah.
I'm just stealing everything the internet has ever done.
Everyone else has done the research. We're just going to bring it together and claim it's ours.
So, I got some stats. I've got some screenshots. I think let's talk about the hate that's out there first.
It is when you say Nickelback, and the automatic thing in your head is to go, oh no, and it's like an involuntary response. It's one of those things that you kind of go, I've got to listen to the new Nickelback song, or have you heard the new Nickelback album? You go, oh no, what are you doing? Oh, but I don't have any reason in my head to dislike them, but it's almost I can't control it. It's innate. It's compulsory.
They've been
for me
consistently voted, hated. Top news article here. Sorry, Nickelback, the title of the world's band now belongs to you. That's from 2019. I've got a screenshot from Twitter here from a Senator Cruz rally in America, a politician, that says, Trump likes Nickelback. Right? And you can see where that person was trying to go with that.
Yeah.
And it's just, it just seems popular. Part of the zeitgeist, popular culture. It's cool to dislike Nickelback. And I'm not going to exactly bat for them, but I'm definitely trying to stick up for them a little bit.
Sure. At least get some reasoning behind.
Yeah, some rationale, and I think we can discuss that today because I've got a bit of a timeline here of some of the Nickelback hate.
Sure.
So
okay.
I'm going to break it down, and we'll discuss each one and just see if it just doesn't seem fair, realistically. So I'm going to take it back to begin with, 2011.
Okay.
A lab developed a Nickel Block app to block all mentions of Nickelback from your internet experience.
That's fantastic.
Right, that was back in 2011.
That's brilliant.
We had an American football game in the NFL between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Over 50,000 fans petitioned to not have them perform at halftime, right? Forcing the band to play one song and leave.
So like proper booing as they came on.
Yeah, that many people signed it. They refused to allow broadcast of their charity performance And that actually drew the ire of some fans. So that one you kind of get, you're not allowing the broadcast of a performance, but that then led them to be declared the world's worst band.
Sure, yeah.
But apparently this guy with I mentioned the Trump likes Nickelback sign, he was removed from the rally, apparently also attended other Republican rallies.
With the same sign?
With the same sign. And there was quite a famous one that made the viral rounds. A police officer threatened people driving under the influence, he would torture them by playing Nickelback songs.
Yeah, I read a bit on that.
It was back in 2016.
Yeah.
It was around Christmas time. They wanted to promote awareness against drink driving and people pushing it around holiday time. And he then said he would torture suspects with Nickelback songs.
Yeah, because the article I read, he had to come out and apologise for saying that.
Because he was trying to raise awareness of drinking under the influence, and it kind of got away from him a little bit.
It's a good joke though.
But it seems a bit undeserved. It's a bit undeserved. So I think we go to defend them first.
Okay.
And then we try and dissect why might they be disliked.
Sure.
So obviously I was looking at a few things, looking at performance in the UK versus Billboard, which obviously tracks them from an American and a Canada.
Yes, because they are Canadian
band, of course, yeah. So UK-wise, I actually thought they were a little more successful. Looking at their chart history, they've never actually had a number one single.
In the UK?
No.
Really?
They've had a number one album, Silver Side Up from 2001, which contains How You Remind Me.
How You Remind Me, yeah. Which is automatically, I'd go, well, How You Remind Me surely got to number one.
It's a top 10 hit. I think it peaked, I got it here, at number 4.
Wow, okay.
It's obviously their biggest played hit on Spotify. And it peaked at number 4. It became their number one album. They've had 6 top 10 albums in the UK.
Sure.
Because they've been going since mid-90s.
Yes.
So they've had multiple studio albums, and I think we'll get to their longevity in a second. Mm-hmm. 8 albums in the top 40, singles-wise, 4 top 10s, 9 in the top 40.
So they're a big band, but yeah, if you'd think, especially How You Remind Me, and like you say, the Silver Side Up album, I would have said critical success UK-wise. Is that the same US, or is that...
US is a little bit harder to track. What I found when I was looking up at the US is due to Nickelback's, I don't know if it's their formulaic approach, we might discuss that in a second, I don't know if it's just how they've experimented with their sound across so many albums since the mid-90s.
Sure.
Silver Side Up's about their 3rd album.
I thought that was it.
No, that was not their first. They had a couple before then. I'll check Spotify in a second.
Sure.
But realistically, like Rockstar only got to number 2.
No way.
Yeah. And that was everywhere.
Couldn't avoid that
Could
song.
not avoid Rockstar. I must admit, that sent me on a downward trend against Nickelback due to how much it consumed.
When it first came out, it was quite...
Everywhere.
I didn't mind it. And it was like, oh yeah, I quite like this. And then, 4 months after it came out, and you're still hearing it on every music channel and every radio station. It's like, oh, enough of this now, please.
Now, they've had number ones in Canada. They have got number one in their homeland, and they've done fairly well in American charts in the Billboard. But obviously, like I said, the way they almost filter their albums, like one's alternative, one's it was quite hard to keep track. But overall, they have sold more than 50 million albums worldwide.
Yeah,
a couple of the websites I was looking at actually put them 4th on rock albums sold.
Right.
Total. Now, they are nowhere near 3, 2, and 1, Beatles being number 1, as you can probably imagine.
Obviously, Beatles being number 1. Have you got the other...
I don't, actually. I didn't go that. My research is lacking. How dare you put me on the spot?
Mate, you're Mr. Statman. I can't believe you've not got those figures in front of you.
I took a few screenshots before I came to work, alright, this morning. I'm doing alright. But, again, so we'll just go stats. But I know they can have damn lies and statistics. But they have played 11 sold-out international tours, which has resulted in over 8 million people purchasing a ticket to their concert.
Yeah, that's...
Now, that is a lot. It's like there's 10 million people in the Greater London area. So almost the whole of London has gone to a Nickelback live. I can't think of it. I don't know how else you want to put it. It's 8 Birminghams. I can twist the population.
I can't picture 8 Birminghams clearer than I can picture one
London. I don't know how you want to work it. So in terms of success, there has been some, but equally, there's a lot of hate. They've had plenty of top 10 hits, multiple hits, so they've been in lots of pop culture. Like I said, Rockstar was everywhere.
Rockstar was everywhere, definitely. You just couldn't avoid it.
And I've not heard anyone, and I suppose some people require a certain blood alcohol level, not enjoy How You Remind Me.
It is a good song.
Do you not find people singing it, or at least happy at a party, at a club, at a pub? I've never seen anyone turn their nose up.
Before me and Savannah got married, our song was "How You Remind Me." That was the song that we sort of had a connection with. I remember buying the single and different things like that. So we've got that connection to it. And then obviously, our first dance was Blue Swede. From the Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy film, Hooked on a Feeling, which is definitely a claim our song now. But yeah, How You Remind Me, again, sort of going back to my old MP3 players that I used to have and used to keep out when I used to skateboard and stuff like that. How You Remind Me was on that, and probably other tracks of that kind of age and ilk by them. Before, I think, I don't know when it became a popular thing to hate Nickelback. Was it always
I honestly don't know. For me, a lot of their albums I've very much enjoyed. So I remember getting All the Right Reasons in the mid-2000s, 2005. It has songs like...
Yeah, run me some
tracks.
tracks.
It has like Animals.
I know Animals, yeah.
I'm pretty sure All the Right Reasons has Photograph.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So look at this graph.
Look at this giraffe.
Yeah, have they just become too meme-worthy? Are the memes too dank that you can't enjoy the music and it's the memes that you need? But like Next Contestant, Far Away, Side of a Bullet, If Everyone Cares.
See, I quite like Side of a Bullet.
They have like a few ballady ones, a few rockier ones, and for me, and I think for any wrestling fans.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I was going to bring this up. Yeah.
Burn It to the Ground.
Burn It to the Ground.
Burn It to the Ground off the Dark Horse album. The Dark Horse album, I think, is almost triple platinum or something daft.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things you say nostalgia. It's such a. I hear that song and I go back. Yeah,
I'm watching
exactly.
Raw.
Exactly.
Was it SmackDown? Either Raw. I don't care. I think it was Raw, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
We're going out tonight.
Again, me and my brother didn't have BT Sports, so we used to watch the WWE Experience on Sky One on the Sunday.
Yeah, the rap one.
But it did used to promote it with.
Burn It to the Ground.
Burn It to the Ground. Yeah.
Just to get high. They've got some. I very much. I feel like I'm going to bat more than I actually anticipated, but that's why I don't think they deserve the hate. That's why I want to talk about it. So let's, like I said, all good geographers, all good teachers. I'm stealing someone else's ideas. So shout out to, let's find it, Sally Antonen, a Finnish student who did some research into why there is so much Nickelback hate. So those that timeline of events I was using actually came from the report done here. So this student went through 14 years. Right, of Nickelback reviews, articles, and then published their findings.
Right, okay. So like a proper study. Oh, not really like in depth.
The Finns don't fuck about. Right, no fucking about here. Right, so where does this like forest fire of ridicule come from? So called hypocritical bullshit performed through gritted teeth, authenticity discourses in Nickelback's album reviews in the Finnish media. Discovered some trends in the hate. So there is a trend that this study came up with. And it could be envy and jealousy.
Okay.
So one of the findings said that the biggest was this band has been so successful in mimicking certain elements of the rock genre.
Sure.
Taking different formulas, different elements, a little bit of alternative. I've even heard some people almost their earlier stuff and like out and attach to them the genre of grunge.
Yeah. You can like How You Remind Me and like probably earlier stuff than that. You can hear the grunge elements to it.
Bit of grunge, bit of alternative. I always feel like there's a little bit of country coming through there sometimes throughout, But either way, so it's their success through, and they believe it gives them a lack of authenticity.
So it's almost like they're trying to follow what's selling.
There isn't a Nickelback sound. They're just marketable rock.
Sure. Yeah. They'll try and match.
They've excelled at copying other things that already existed, and they've just been super successful at it. They were bland, in a sense, is what this report was going at.
Sure, yeah.
Nickelback, another quote from this article I wrote down here. Nickelback is too much of everything to be enough of something.
So they've not got their own style. They've not got their own sound. It seems to be copying someone else or something else, whatever's doing well at the time.
Yeah, they're just seen as an imitation. Apparently... and I can't remember this. I don't know if you can, which was quite interesting because obviously a Finnish article it referenced the UK.
Okay.
It says that according to a report, there's one event that ultimately triggered an avalanche of ridicule. In November of 2008, Nickelback licenses their song Rockstar for use within a furniture ad within the UK. This, according to the research findings, is widely regarded as the beginning of the band's image collapse.
Right,
so
I don't remember that.
So they've pinpointed it to 2008. So Silverside, or 2001, what was it the other Dark Horse is 2008, All the Right Reasons 2005. So everything we've credited them with
is all before.
It's just on the edge because Dark Horse 2008 is on the precipice here. So it was after this point, the existing hate and ridicule exploded. So this was the straw that brought the camel's back.
Sure.
You know, this was the line of the blue touch paper. Full-blown memes, non-stop jokes, all-out protests soon became the norm. It was proverbial linchpin that sparked the unstoppable explosion. So apparently it was a DFS advert.
Okay.
And as we know, DFS will never end. There are two things will outlive us all.
Is the sale still on? Yeah.
Cockroaches and DFS sale. They're going to be buying so many sofas when climate change swallows us up. Yeah? Just cockroaches floating on sofas where the Maldives used to be. So actually the furniture ad itself was banned. Now,
in the UK?
Yeah, apparently. So actually the furniture ad itself was banned because the seller, DFS, exaggerated the size of its sofas. But apparently not only did they fuck up, Nickelback were like I think they both were their own architects of their own.
DFS trying to sell something that it really isn't, with Rockstar playing in the background, a band trying to be something they're really not.
So obviously there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of success, and can you pin it down to anything? Have you got any thoughts?
No, so I've read they started the label they signed up with. I don't know if you've got anything.
I've looked at a couple of labels, but you crack on.
They signed on with Roadrunner. Roadrunner Records was who they signed on in the 90s to release their sort of first album, their first sort of come into the music industry that way. Now, Roadrunner Records was known for its metal. It was known, it had Slipknot on its dealer. So that kind of ilk of bands
is what they were coming out with.
They were producing amazing metal music, but that was their specific genre. And then they took on Nickelback and really pushed Nickelback.
Okay.
And everyone claims like it was Roadrunner taking on a mediocre band that weren't really good enough to be promoted as highly as they were. And it said when you looked at all the different bands that Roadrunner had at the time, it was stuff like, I think, Slipknot and Silverchain, and there was some other big metal names on there, but Nickelback stuck out like a sore thumb. And it was a lot of people said it was the beginning of the end for Roadrunner Records. They're still going strong, but it was from then they said they signed more mediocre bands and drifted away from what they were meant to stay true to. So yeah, I know a lot of metal hated them from that moment. There was I've not got the date for it, but there was a comic that made a joke. Again, I saw it similar to the police report that you said that the guy, and it was a joke that ran on TV. He'd ran it on air. It was a joke about violent music creating violent people.
Okay.
And why doesn't anyone mention that bad music creates violent people? So like when I listen to a Nickelback album, I want to kill all the members of Nickelback. It's not just violent music making violent people, it's bad music making violent people. So that was, and then that joke aired, and apparently it was repeated on TV a lot as well. Right. So again, sparked poured fuel on the fire to hate Nickelback.
Alright, so for me, there's a few things I don't know. I've almost boiled them down to: are they the Marmite of music? Or they love them or hate them? Are they that bad? Are they that black and white? Is it? Do you reckon?
They're that. There's not enough to them for me to have. It's not worth me passionately hating them or passionately loving them. There's not enough There's not enough substance there for me to have a really passionate opinion on them. If that makes sense. Yeah. And maybe that sparks some of the hate towards
They're
it.
so meh.
Exactly. They're so kind of like, oh well, this is just the. But again, I say that there are some songs I really like, and there's some songs I really got a connection with.
One song we haven't mentioned that's just popped back into my head. Believe it was Spider-Man 2, Hero.
Yeah. Well, that was Chad. I think that was just.
Was Chad Grove?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, but again, still no, adjacent. Nickelback adjacent.
Yeah. It was going to get brought up. It's a cracking song, that, and again, it's the nostalgia to it as well. It takes you back. Again, we're both into our Marvel and comics.
I've got Doc Ock. Just doing his bits, doing the business.
It was a great soundtrack to at the time, a good movie.
Well, yeah, like one of the earliest, superhero movies. Sam Raimi, we'll talk about it more, but
definitely, it's he looks weird, doesn't he? Have you seen him in music videos and you see him like that?
That's a tough one to say, but finish your point.
It was people's comments on him, and it was like he hasn't got the rock star look to him. Do you know when you look at like some big rock stars and you kind of see the draw to them, and the talent kind of shows through who they are? Like my example would be Corey Taylor. And I know you don't often see Corey. Well, you do now because he obviously does a lot of solo stuff. But Corey Taylor, he's got that rock star look about him, and he's got something
an intangible presence or aura.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. His presence. He's got a presence that you can sense by looking at him, watching him in an interview. Or
so as a front man, he doesn't bring you in.
Exactly. Yeah. He just gives off a creepy vibe whenever I see him, and it's like he's.
So your historical frontmen, your Aussies, your more modern frontmen, your Matt Bellamy's,
Dave Grohl,
David Draiman. Yeah, not enough about him, not enough the look. Mate. Yeah, could be the look. Like too generic, too bland, not enough spice, not enough.
Yeah.
Because I think we touched on the overplayed. I think overplayed can cause resentment.
Yeah.
Like I remember a good period post Rockstar, I would turn the radio off.
Oh yeah.
I did not care about his baseball mansions, Playboy like keys. I didn't want it. I didn't want any of it. It absolutely did my nutting.
Yeah.
But surely that can be a byproduct of success. Or surely it's almost an argument to defend them, their longevity. Again, I feel like it just needs a little more respect on the name. Like I feel like sometimes you drop off from bands, don't you?
Yeah,
you drop off. Oh my god, I haven't listened to you still think their most recent album. And you look down on the actual timeline, it's like 12 years old. What you think they're latest?
I constantly do that. I always. What was it today? I was listening to one of Green Day's songs off Uno, and I was like, oh yeah, it's sort of new Green Day, and I'm like, oh, this is like coming up for like 10 years, like not 10 years, but it's a good bulk of time since the album come out. But to me, that's still new Green Day because. I don't know, but you do. Your timeline goes a bit skew with bands, doesn't it?
I sometimes think so then we could analyse their music, its composition, and its voice. For me, his voice has got a decent range and it's powerful. It's got a bit of grit to it.
For them to imitate all different styles and all different types of artists to release songs in that style, you've got to have a base level of talent there to try and match the different styles.
And educate me if I'm wrong. I know you downplay your ability to listen to music and understand music. You say you're half decent at guitar and drums. You're much better than that. But from a compositional point of view, from a musicality, what gets played on bass, guitar, drums, is it too jigsaw-like? Is it too cut and stick? Is it you sometimes listen to Avenged Sevenfold? Yeah, and we were listening to Backcountry the other day, and Almost Easy, and we had a bit of an Avenged session, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And there's no one often that can play the guitar like they do.
Sinister Gates on guitar is just revolutionary.
And then sometimes you go, right, Flea, Red Hot Chilies. There's always someone on one of the instruments that
blows you away.
Oh my god, that's how they do it. And then people can copy it, people can learn it, people can imitate, but do you think there's not enough... everybody knows Chad. Can you name... And I'm a bit crap with band names, truth be told.
I can't name you another member.
But do you reckon you could cut and stick any music session artist with a bit of talent, any touring guitarist, any touring drummer, and they could do exactly what everyone else does? What Nickelback does musically wise?
Again, probably... I've not analysed their music to
but you know what I mean?
But
do you think...
I can't think of anything that I've heard and I've gone, oh wow, that's really good. That's really technical. Clever. That's really very good. But again, I said it... To imitate them as well as they imitate the ebbs and flows of the genre... And the time. Surely they've got something there to be able to match it.
They've got a musical
exactly,
brain,
to be able to match it and to be able to perform in that style and change how they perform. There's definitely some music ability there, and some of the guitar riffs as well. Some like Burn It Down and Side of a Bullet. There are some really cracking guitar licks and riffs and stuff that is really catchy, and as soon as you hear it, go, that is a good guitar riff.
And lyrically, I think sometimes they can tell quite a good story. I remember, and again, it's a bit early Nickelback, 2005. We're looking at the song Animals. I don't know, do you know it at all? From All the Right Reasons?
It's familiar, yes.
Yeah. And it basically tells the story of him and his missus basically just copping off anywhere and everywhere. Cars, hills, anywhere they could get some, they're getting some. They're getting busy, they're making babies.
I do know the song. Yeah, I've got it in my head now.
And it tells quite a funny story. And maybe it's 2005, we're starting year 7, and maybe I just thought it was hilarious what I was listening to. I don't know when I had the album. I had the CD. I remember listening to it a lot at home. I don't think I bought it that early. I think I bought it a few years later.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm clearly year 9, maybe year 8, probably year 9, year 10 actually. We're thinking probably a little later. And not that we've grown up in any way, shape, or form mentally.
Oh, God, no.
We've got old and fat,
Yeah.
but we've not matured. So
again, we ended the Chuck Berry podcast saying how great his best song was, talking about a penis. that was what it boiled down to.
Lyrical genius.
Yeah.
Gotta make penis songs funny. You gotta be clever with it. And I remember just giggling, but still, like, it told a story. I was along for the ride, pun intended. And I must admit, I've been listening to their best of over the past couple of days. They've had some stinkers. Like, in 2020, they did a cover of The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Really?
Do not recommend.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, technically the guitar in that and the instruments in that are difficult. Well, not difficult, but difficult.
It wasn't for me. The fiddle, violin was replaced by the guitar.
Sure.
I didn't quite like the sound. Like, lyrically it was quite good. Like, the lyrics and how it was sung and how it was done. And that that story of I'm the best there's ever been.
Well, that's it's Guitar Hero 3, isn't it? The Guitar Hero 3, the final battle you play is Devil Went Down to Georgia. That's the song in it. Again, that's all converted to guitar, and that is done. I've not heard the Nickelback version, but I can't remember who the version on Guitar Hero 3 is by. But that is done perfectly. The guitar riffs and licks on that match the fiddle in the thing, and it sounds
matches.
Amazing.
It didn't hit me.
No.
I don't know. I think I could give it another listen, but yeah, I don't know if they're a hill I'm gonna die on. I don't know if I've I don't know if I've defended.
You're
them.
gonna get emails in now.
Well, yeah, we're getting to double.
Our listeners gonna.
We're into double digits.
Yeah. It's going to drop off now.
Going single digits now. You inflated my ego for a bit now for it to burst. We should have left this subject much later on. I don't know why they get the hate. I don't think they deserve the hate. I think they've got some cracking tunes. I'm not saying they're in the upper echelons. There are many artists I listen to. They're not throughout my playlists throughout the years, but I've had a couple of their albums.
See, I don't think I've ever gone back and listened to them. I think that says something as well.
Yeah,
you said you've been listening to the greatest hits. Would you have done that if we weren't going to be recording this podcast on them?
You're right, probably not. I think I've got How You Remind Me in a fair few playlists, and I enjoy their songs whenever they come up.
Sure.
But no, I don't actively go and chase them.
No.
So maybe you've diluted, maybe you've defended me a bit there, maybe you've given me a bit more credit.
That's it.
I don't think
you don't have to sell your t-shirts too soon.
Yeah, just go and I'm done. DJ is now longer no part of this. Associated with this company, you have to do like a statement.
You'll have to sign that signed. You have to sell that signed Nickelback poster that's behind you, the tour poster.
Yeah, it's just Chad. But I don't think we're ever going to solve it. I think the internet's trying to solve it.
Is that a thing to go on as well? So as you said earlier, they became a meme sensation. They became the source of like memes and vines and gifs and this kind of jokes that blew up on the internet. Are they the first band to kind of get all the jokes and stuff like that? Because obviously they started in the 90s. Would the hate have come this hard and heavy for them without the internet?
Yeah, the report pinpointed it to 2008, and all my other petitions, issues that I alluded to earlier were from 2008 onwards. They were 2010s, mid-2010s, 2015, 2016, here all over the show. So maybe the internet generation, as memes became funnier, and like I think I communicate half through GIFs now.
Oh yeah, same, yeah.
Like, I think you asked if you want to record this tonight, and I sent you 2 GIFs in response. I don't
Definitely
think I actually said a word.
Nope.
So, I think it's a puzzle. It's an enigma. People much smarter than us are going to have to solve that. But stop giving Nick... I feel like, you know what I'm doing? I'm doing a 21 version of Leave Britney Alone.
Oh, wow. See, a minute... It's quite a stance to take, that.
Well, I feel like it's the internet. You have to be extreme. To be heard. Get your point across, you have to be the louder shouter. You have to stomp and scream and stamp your feet. Just leave Nickelback alone. Leave Britney alone. Anyone that remembers that meme or has never done Leave Britney Alone, I'm really harking back to 2007, 2006.
Yeah.
You reckon? Really showing my age a bit there, but stuff it. Early memes are the best memes. On that bombshell, I think we'll call it there. We've tried to investigate. There's a lot of hate. I don't think it's fully deserved. I think some of it is. They're maybe a bit too vanilla, but I feel like that might be an insult to vanilla. I don't know what's bland enough. Like
beige.
Rusks.
Rusks.
What do you call those rice cakes? Just rice cakes.
Just a rice cake.
Yeah, there's loads of brands. The rice cakes of rock.
Marmite
rice cakes. I've done as many analogies as I can. I think it's best that we plug those 2 businesses we plugged at the start before we sign off.
Definitely. Oh, I've just got a quote. Dave Grohl posted on his Twitter.
Go on.
He says, "If you play a Nickelback album backwards, you'll hear messages from the devil. But even worse, if you play it forward,
You'll hear a
Nickelback. You'll hear a Nickelback.
God damn
album.
it, Dave Grohl's done us there. Maybe, well, in Dave Grohl we trust. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong to try and defend them a little bit.
Someone said he divorced Avril Lavigne, which is the second worst thing he's ever done. I've heard some cracking stuff.
People have just been too witty. I clearly... maybe it wasn't worth me to discuss. I just wanted to investigate why the hate's there.
Yeah. You are going to be known now on this podcast as and the man who likes Nickelback.
Fine. The hill I die on. Wait, you stitched me up in the first one. I was happy to defend Meatloaf. I will defend and be uncool. I'm all right with it. I'm down. I'm a geography teacher. I'm already halfway there. Like, clearly my interests aren't cool. I try and make the uncool cool. That's my job. Make the uncool. Make rocks interesting. I'll make rocks and Nickelback interesting. Maybe next time I do Rock Cycle, I'll make it a Nickelback theme lesson. That's the goal.
Yeah. I'm sure you
get
can
Nickelback into a lesson. So I'm gonna message my head of department. Sue, I need Nickelback in my next lesson. But that's me. I'm done. I'm done.
Top stuff. Again, yeah, like you said, I think we should link the businesses, the Second Star Creations, for the cool T-shirts that we've got. I'll try and put a picture of them on the Facebook feed because they are quite cool. I might get a picture of us wearing them, but maybe not today because I look rough. And Treat Yourself Boutique in St. Anne's. Again, they've got a Facebook page if you want to visit them and see what they're selling, see what they're doing these days. I think that, they do have an Instagram. Yeah. See, I should get down with the kids, really. I've not got an Instagram. I should really.
Neither do I.
I think I have got one, but I don't use it, which would be good for putting...
Yeah, we need to up our game.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely. I'll link both their Facebook pages in the bio. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with us, we're at Gems of Rock on Gmail, if you want to send us an email over. And we're at Gems of Rock on Facebook, if you want to pop us a message or shout insults at us, or
I was gonna say support local businesses and don't hate me for trying to defend Nickelback.
Yeah. If anyone wants to make an offer on DJ's signed Nickelback poster, I'm sure we'll get an auction going on the page for that. But yeah, as always, thanks for listening, and yeah, we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, cheers for putting up with me.
Yeah, cheers guys. Thank you very much. Just as a quick behind the scenes and a bonus thing, I don't know if you can hear in the background, but DJ has already gone to his Nickelback's greatest hits and is currently listening to it in the kitchen. And he's coming back. I'm going to have to pause it. Bye, people. Bye.